Hi, I'm Jill Chodak. I'm a clinical dietitian with URMC Center for Community Health and Prevention, and we're honoring Men's Health Month for June. So with me is WXXI host of Connections, Evan Dawson. Thank you for coming.
Hi. Good to have you. Thanks for being on my show. Oh wait, I'm actually being interviewed.
Hey,
this is very exciting.
Yay! So thanks for being here.
No, actually I'm a terrible interviewer. I feel like I'm an okay interviewer, but I'm going to be terrible, so this will be fun for you.
Can't wait. Can't wait. And we're actually friends too, so this will be real fun. We're choosing to make vegan stuffed shells today, and there's a personal connection there, right? It's one of your faves that I make.
This is one of my favorite meals that Jill makes. I request this all the time.
You do. And so the reason why I chose that, besides the fact that he loves it, is because it's a simple twist on a classic dish that people often eat, and it's really an easy change that makes a big impact on your health. So for men's health, I often think, hey, we worry about heart disease, cancer, all these different things, and many men, but many people in general, don't get enough fiber. So that's where I do the work, right? And so this is a good way to add fiber while still making things tasty.
Yeah, I love this the minute you made it, I think years ago, and I found it shockingly a good substitute. For people who think vegan substitutes don't really measure up, first of all, that's sort of been blown up over the years. All the great vegan dining options out. But also, for me, I watched men in my family kind of not really live much past 70. So there's a lot of heart disease, cancer, yes, but heart disease and things that I feel like with better choices might be more preventable. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want to get to my 40s sluggish. I wanted to make changes that I felt like would be sustainable. So I've spent the last few years, most of my cooking during the week is vegan, vegetarian. And I really enjoy it, and I kind of crib off your notes. So I'm looking forward to this one because I find this one fun to do, but this will be a good refresher because I never feel like I do it as well as you do.
Aw, thank you.
That's true.
Okay, well, so here we go. So the biggest prep is soaking the nuts that you choose. So a lot of recipes, if you check online, they use processed soy, so tofu and things like that. I'm more of a there's nothing wrong with tofu and processed soy, but I'm more of a purist in that sense, and I think you are too. So I like to use like whole ingredients.
That's great.
And so we used whole cashews. These were roasted, unsalted, and then macadamia nuts. This is my secret weapon here. Okay, so I just put them in a bowl overnight. You could also do this in the morning ahead of work, and they just need to soak for 8 hours.
Just in water, soaking? Just
in water, soaking.
Do they have to be covered at all?
I covered them with a paper towel so that nothing went in them.
Okay.
And then literally...
Refrigerated?
I did not refrigerate them, no. So basically you take this and then you strain them. I do these separately. I did them separately so that you could see, but we're going to do them together just for the sake of time. So I'm just draining the water. You can give them a rinse or not.
They get really surprisingly supple and soggy. Yeah.
You definitely said supple. Okay.
I did.
Okay. So yeah. Okay, so that's that. So we're going to do something with these in a second, but I wanted to show you the difference. This is kind of like the end product, right? So if you think about what's in stuffed shells, it's that beautiful ricotta, the mozzarella, the things that are very tasty that we don't necessarily want to avoid. But again, if we're adding fiber, we want something to mimic those textures.
You're going to say the texture is key in this.
Yeah. So this is the cashew cheese, and this is the macadamia nut cheese. I wanted it to look kind of like a ricotta,
so
right?
Good, yes.
And then my other secret weapon besides the macadamia nuts, because again, we're adding flavor and fiber without the saturated fat. These are the healthy fats, which are intrinsically better for preventing cardiovascular disease. So adding fiber, adding healthy fats. My secret weapon also is chopped artichokes.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, I don't think you ever knew that.
I don't think I did.
Okay, so anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and make the nut cheese. So this is literally the most prep that you have to do. I already pre-boiled like all the shells and stuff. So Evan, if you want to scooch over here.
Yeah.
So this can be done in a food processor or a blender. So you literally can just dump this in here.
All the nuts going right
All the nuts in here.
And again, you did this separately initially, but for time we're doing them together?
Yes.
Is it better to do them separately?
I like to do them separately because the textures are
Slightly
so different. Yeah. Okay, and so what you need to do is you put these in here, okay, and then I put lemon. So this is like the biggest lemon I've ever seen. Like I have an actual
That's a
squeeze.
great looking lemon.
Right? Okay, and so I squeeze some lemon in there. If the seeds come out in there, that's fine, whatever. Okay.
It's all getting
It's all good enough. Okay, and it's more fiber, honestly. Okay, then I put some olive oil in here. It's a healthy fat. Don't go crazy with it. It is 200 calories per tablespoon. Not that we're watching our calories, but it's good to be mindful.
That's more than I would have guessed.
Yep. And then we lock this up. And so here comes the loud noise, sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, so we're gonna put it on low initially. You see how it's kind of like wonky?
What would you guess? That was a tablespoon of olive oil?
Yeah. And then you can add water as it goes. Add a little at first, because you can always add more.
Yeah. You don't want it runny, right?
All right, so this, I'm going to show you kind of like what it looks like in the interim, right? So that's the interim. Okay, so you just keep going until it gets smooth. So you can put it on high. I'm not going to do that right now because we don't need to. But
I don't think I saw. You didn't do salt and pepper on this yet.
Did not yet.
You did not, okay.
So that's where this comes in. So
Okay.
now we're going to jump over here and we're going to actually do the cheese. So you blended it to this, blah, 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 blah. That's happening. All right, so why don't you mix this in here and that in there?
So all the cheeses together. So if you
Yep.
did them separate, now is the time.
Yep.
Okay. And this is what, 1 can of artichokes? Is it a can?
It's a can. I didn't use the whole can. And I don't really measure, as you know. So.
Well, it's not baking. You know, cooking is an art. Baking is the same.
Yeah. So I just grabbed a handful, however much I like, and you can always add more. I chopped them up. Okay, and this is where you would add the other stuff. So salt, pepper, and I actually use Italian seasoning because it has its own one. You could also add like fresh garlic or roasted garlic in here.
Oh yeah, roasted would be
amazing,
phenomenal.
right?
Yeah.
And see the texture there? How it looks like what you would fill a stuffed shell with.
This is a great point too, because this is like one of those moments in the cooking process where you can kind of get a little artistic. You want to add a little roasted garlic, you can do it. You want to add something else, different seasonings you like.
Yep.
That's great.
Absolutely.
So
So
just
salt and
kinda-
pepper, whatever you want.
Not going to overdo it, right?
Right. And the other thing we're saving too by doing this, so with at least with my recipe that I always use for traditional stuffed shells, which are delicious by the way, but again, if we're looking to add fiber and we don't want to have that traditional, okay, I'm having the regular stuffed shells and now I'm just going to have this boring salad that I'm annoyed, yep, go for it.
Yep.
This is a way to do it where you kind of you can open that little flap, there's a little flap.
Yeah, overdo it too.
Okay. And so this is a great way to do it, but so you save on the egg too. So eggs, I love, we have backyard chickens, they have saturated fat cholesterol, so if it's something that you're aware of and you're trying to avoid cardiovascular disease or decrease your risk, this is a good way to do it. Replace the saturated fats with the healthy fats, and this is a good way. Okay, so see, you got there. You could add a little olive oil again if it was feeling a little weird. It's kind of trial and error if you want to take a bite. Yeah, you can.
Lemon for taste here. That's great.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
very fresh too. It feels lighter, like you were saying before, versus like that heavy ricotta that you might have during the summer months. So okay, so
I'm
these.
hearing a strange sound.
Yes, he's upset that he
Murphy.
can't have it. Oh my god.
Why did I call his name?
okay.
We were rolling. Too.
It's all right. We're doing fine. We're doing fine. Okay, so next, so pretend the oven is preheated. Shh. Pretend the oven. Here, Murph.
All right, preheat the oven
Preheat
to
the oven to 350.
350.
Okay, it already was. We already got a magic in there.
Yep.
All right, so this is also another trick. So you get a pan, whatever pan works. I chose Francisco Rinaldi, no salt added. I like to control the amount of sodium that's in my stuff for the flavor, but also, again, for just being mindful of what's going into your body. Some people are salt sensitive, so it affects their blood pressure. Some people aren't. If it's something that's an issue, it's just good to be mindful about. So this is a good way to do it. So if you want to just dump this.
This is like half a jar here.
Yeah, and I use the other half for like what's in there.
Okay.
Okay, so dump that in there, and then you have this cute little, so spread it all around so that the shells don't stick. So usually when I'm making a big batch of shells, I'll end up using 1 or 2 jars. It really just depends on your how much you're making. And these are the shells I use. I can't find any other type shells. I'm not endorsing any one product, but that's what I used. Okay, that looks good. Here, let me get this. All right, and so next, we literally are just gonna take that mixture. I'll take this guy.
Okay.
Take this.
Okay.
Here's your shell. Stuff it.
Overstuff it, or what's your?
However you like it.
Okay.
And I like them kind of medium stuffed.
Would you call that medium?
That is perfect.
That's our medium stuff.
Put it right in there.
I'm just gonna set it
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
There we
And
go.
then, do you want to do one more?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, grab it. So the trick with cooking these shells is you want to do them al dente so that they stay. And so I just boiled them for 6 minutes, drained them, put them on this parchment to dry a little bit so that they're easier to touch, because otherwise you burn yourself, and then you stuff them. And then you put them in here. This can be made ahead of time, so if you're having like a party or something, you can make it like this, put it in the fridge, and then you can throw it in the oven the day
Looks
out.
so good. So if this
Right?
is so good, why is it so hard for me to convince you to make these? Because now that we're on camera, the truth comes out here. How many times have I requested this?
I think every week for the past.
Every week for the past maybe 5 years.
Yes, it's true.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's happened like twice.
All right. So, Emmy Hoodle,
Yeah.
moving along.
Sure.
So we'll finish this up later, and then I'll have. But here's the piece. Can you say it for me? Piece de resistance.
The pièce de résistance.
Yes, and it's a little bit drier than normal.
I have a theory, by the way, why you've only done it twice in 5 years.
Why?
Because you like to do different things.
I do.
You're someone who likes to do. Once you've done something once or twice, you like a new challenge.
That's true.
And I'm with you. I like
That's
that.
true.
But once I've got something at this high level, I want it like once a week.
Well, thank you for that. Okay, so here's this. They kind of dried out a little bit because they've been just chilling in there, but you get the idea. So I mean, it looks pretty similar to what
awesome.
you might see. So let's just get them out and we'll have a little.
Can I have a quick question though?
Yes.
Because look at here. Did you add
I topped
another
it.
layer? You did. Okay,
I
so
did.
we're topping more of the sauce on the top once you've got everything set.
Correct.
Okay.
And then some people even, if you get like the fake cheeses, the ones that are made from soy or pea protein, you could buy those at the store. This is just more economical seemingly. You could sprinkle that on top too. So like typically in a traditional stuffed shell, you might sprinkle like mozzarella or something or Parmesan on top. So you could buy that at the store and it would be vegan or whatever. Okay, so let's do this. So we're gonna serve this up here. Actually,
How do we feel about sneaking little bites of cheese?
I am pro sneaking. Okay. And the other thing is you could make, literally this is just me kind of doing the traditional way that I've always done it, but you could also, I know how you like the, what is that called? The thing with the parsley and the garlic, the remoulade, what is it?
Chippenade?
Thing, yeah. So you could do a parsley thing with like fresh garlic and put it on there.
That's where you roll up the herbs and just kind of cut ribbons, like thin strip ribbons.
Yep.
Chippenades.
So you could chiffonade some parsley and throw it on there.
For like a little presentation.
Let me cut you in here.
Oh my gosh, are we eating this now?
We're gonna eat this now.
I've been eating this.
Are you serious? Okay, I don't know if you can cut your own, but I cut that for myself.
Oh, I see. I see.
Mm-hmm.
No. Equality. Hashtag equality.
All right, ready? We're gonna go for this. Oh my God, it's gonna see. But do you see the inside too?
Oh, yeah,
All right, I'm totally using my fingers because it's falling apart. Right here. Ready?
Yes.
Cheers.
Mm.
Good.
Oh. I don't need to go back to non-vegan shells.
Right?
I mean, it's that good. I actually like it better. This is not one of those vegans or vegetarian meals where you go, it's pretty good for. No, I mean, like, I think it's better.
Oh.
I actually do.
I like it too.
That little bit of lemon, by the way, goes
Yeah.
a long way.
Right? You could even do like a little zester and do some lemon
Oh,
there.
yeah.
You could totally play around with this. So the goal for these videos is really to provide folks with easy, inexpensive base recipes that you can totally make your own. So if your family hates artichokes, do something else instead. You know?
That
So,
works.
okay, well, thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us. Hope you enjoy.
Awesome.